Starting us off at number 10, we have Mariah Carey. The singer is notorious for taking her title as pop diva quite literally. From rumors about her bizarre dressing room requests to feuds with co-stars, Mariah has earned herself quite a reputation. When filming a cameo for the 2017 comedy The House, she arrived to set 4 hours late with a list of demands for her trailer. Her co-stars called the experience bananas, which is never a good thing. It's no wonder that her cameo didn't make it into the final cut of the movie. And let's not forget about her feud with fellow American Idol judge Nicki Minaj back in 2012. The two stars were rumored to be at odds from the moment they were both hired on the show. It was during the audition rounds of American Idol that it became clear their feud was more than just rumors. During an argument with Mariah, Nicki said she wasn't going to put up with Mariah anymore and sarcastically called her Her Highness. Up next, number 9, we have Lindsay Lohan. It has been quite a while since we've seen Lindsay lighting up the big screen. Why? One reason could be that she is a huge pain to work with, apparently. Lindsay's lack of professionalism once led to the CEO of Morgan Street Productions threatening to sue Lohan over her behavior on the set of the 2007 film Georgia Rule. In the letter, Lindsay was called out for her many absences from set and constant partying during production. Even Jane Fonda, her co-star in the movie, had enough with Lindsay and yelled at the actress for being late on set one day. I would not want Jane Fonda to yell at me. Like, that just scared me, and it's not even me. Apparently, Lindsay didn't learn from the experience though. In 2010, when she filmed a guest appearance for Glee, Lindsay was apparently late and unprepared when she arrived on set. I had no idea Lindsay was in Glee. Coming in at number 8 is Emma Roberts. Just because you are related to Hollywood royalty, Emma's aunt is Julia Roberts after all. That doesn't mean it's okay to act like a total princess. But I guess no one told Emma Roberts that. It is rumored that the actress was very difficult to work with on the set of American Horror Story Coven, and even got called out by co-star Gabriel Rodriguez. Apparently, Roberts was rude to others on the show and wouldn't talk to crew members. While filming another Ryan Murphy show, Scream Queens, Emma was confronted yet again by a co-star. Allegedly, Jamie Lee Curtis was not a fan of Roberts' diva antics on set and let the actress know. It must have done the trick that time because her behavior was reportedly improved after the chat with Jamie Lee. I also would not want Jamie Lee Curtis yelling at me. I love her. After Freaky Friday, I always wish she was my mom. Fun fact, in case you wanted to know. And for number 7, we have Lea Michele. While she may have played a diva on TV, Lea Michele's off-screen behavior could give her Glee character, Rachel Berry, a run for her money. Michele was called out on Twitter by former co-star Samantha Ware for making her time on Glee a living hell. And after Ware opened the floodgates, the shade from former castmates kept on coming in. Amber Riley responded to Ware's tweets by posting a gif of herself sipping some tea. Heather Morris tweeted, "Was she unpleasant to work with? Very much so." Melissa Benoist and Michelle Scream Queens co-star Abigail Breslin didn't make comments themselves, but were caught liking tweets about Michelle following this incident. That's the silent way of getting involved. They're like, I agree with you, but I'm not gonna say anything about it, because they didn't want to get too involved. I do that all the time. At number 6 is Katherine Heigl. When Heigl left Grey's Anatomy in 2010, she said it was so she could focus on her family. However, it's speculated that her departure may be due to tension between her and the show's creator, Shonda Rhimes. A few years after Heigl left Grey's, Rhimes, while speaking about her show Scandal, said, "There are no Heigls in this situation. I don't put up with that bullshit or nasty people. I don't have time for that." This isn't the first time Katherine Heigl has been on the receiving end of these kinds of comments. After calling her 2007 film Knocked Up a little sexist, the actress was seen as difficult to work with, a label her career is only now recovering from. If that, because where is she? I actually don't know. I haven't seen her in anything in so long. At our halfway point, number 5, we have Ellen. For years, the talk show host was beloved by audiences for being nice. That is until 2020, when former employees of the Ellen DeGeneres show spoke out about what it's like to work for Ellen, and they did not have very nice things to say. According to former staff members, Ellen's on-camera kindness was all for show, and that they weren't allowed to speak to her when they actually saw her. Ironically, Mariah Carey has also spoken about her negative experience with DeGeneres. According to Carey, Ellen made her feel extremely uncomfortable when she grilled the pop star about whether or not she was pregnant during an interview on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Other celebrities, like Everybody Hates Raymond star Brad Garrett, have given their own negative accounts of Ellen. Garrett claims to know multiple people treated horribly by the talk show host. Jumping on down to number 4 is Julia Roberts. It looks like diva behavior runs in the family because much like her famous niece Emma, Julia Roberts is no picnic to work with, and picnics are a good time. While playing Tinkerbell in the 1991 film Hook, the actress was apparently given the nickname Tinkerhell by crew members. While her director on the film, Steven Spielberg, defends her behavior, that hasn't stopped her difficult reputation from following her in the years since. In 1994, on the set of I Love Trouble, it was confirmed by both Roberts and co-star Nick Nolte that the two did not get along. Nolte went as far as to say that she is not a nice person. It is rumored that even an acting legend like Meryl Streep can't convince anyone that she likes Julia Roberts. The two August Osage County stars were apparently so at odds over screen time that Meryl won't work with Julia ever again. That is like an actor's nightmare. Imagine Meryl Streep not wanting to work with you. I would just give up at that point. Heading into our number 3 spot is Kanye West. It is no secret that Kanye West has had some pretty eccentric behaviors, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that he is less than ideal to work with. Apparently West tortures the people at his label Def Jams, and that he is one of the most difficult artists to deal with in the business. Honestly, I could have told you that though. I feel like everyone knows that. While collaborating with Kanye can be tough, it sounds like working for Kanye is no walk in the park either. A former bodyguard of West had shared some of his diva antics. According to him, he was only to wear black around West, touching Kanye would get you fired, and bodyguards were not allowed to speak when Kanye was walking by. Kanye's rules also included his then wife, Kim Kardashian. The bodyguard claims he was fired 2 weeks in when Kanye caught him bumping into Kim in the hallway. Wow, their marriage sounded like a great time. That's sad because they are divorced now. All the way in the number 2 spot, we have Kanye's now ex-sister-in-law, Kourtney Kardashian. Kourtney is known on the show for her hilarious deadpan comments, which are often at her siblings' expenses. She's my idol. I honestly love her sass. I live for it. Though she's often joking, sometimes she can take it too far. Not even Kourtney's own mother could deny that the reality star was hard to work with. Kris Jenner told Andy Cohen at the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion that her eldest daughter was the hardest one to manage. Kourtney herself couldn't argue with her momager. I don't want to do things if it's not something I'm really into doing. My answer is no for most things, and if it's gonna be yes, I want to know every detail of what I'm gonna be asked for. Kim Kardashian has also called out her sister for rude behavior. In one incident, Kim says that Kourtney was so mean to one of her nannies that she brought her to tears. According to Kim, Kourtney can't even keep a nanny. I wonder why. And finally, in our number 1 spot, we have Justin Bieber. Becoming a pop star at such a young age could get to anyone's head, and Justin is no exception. Former SNL cast member Bill Hader said that he really didn't enjoy having Justin Bieber around. Hader says that when Justin hosted the show, he brought around an entourage of 20 people. Apparently, the Biebs had his staff hand-feeding him pizza and Diet Coke. Where's that kind of treatment for me, Chris? I can't eat pizza, it's fine. Fellow SNL star Kate McKinnon says that Bieber wasn't pleased by her hilarious impressions of the pop star. His diva behavior isn't exclusive to SNL though. Justin has also developed a reputation for throwing tantrums on stage, leaving concerts early, and showing up late to his own shows. Once he even scolded a fan for throwing her hat on stage before later storming off stage because of the audience's screaming. Isn't that the point of your concert? Wouldn't you prefer them to scream than to not scream? I feel like that would be so awkward. Starting off the list at number 10, we have Jennifer Lopez. The famous celebrity is rumored to be one of the worst people to work with because of her constant demands and cold attitude. Jennifer even lost an opportunity to perform at a Premier League tournament for insisting on a tab of demands that includes a private jet and 9 dressing rooms. The league couldn't sustain those demands and decided to give their performance to someone else. Not only that, but when filming on set, Lopez is known to only communicate through assistants and wouldn't talk to other people working on set herself, and would request for people not to apparently look at her. It's gotten to the point that Jennifer is known to be unable to keep a consistent makeup artist and stylist for her unlikable behavior. Honestly, if you put me on a set with J-Lo, there's no way I'm not looking at her. From there, the number 9 spot is taken by Bruce Willis. According to many people who have worked with the actor, he is very difficult to work with. Director Kevin Smith even said that working with Bruce was a soul-crushing experience because his positive expectations of the actor turned sour. Bruce was apparently known on set to have a big ego, and when filming came to an end, Kevin Smith thanked everyone who worked on the film, except Bruce, because he was apparently a pain to work with. Another director came forward to say that he also had a hard time working with the actor, as the pair would clearly not get along and didn't speak a word to each other off camera. Number 8 is going to Megan Fox. According to people who have worked closely with her, Megan finds it hard to continuously have steady work solely because she is tough to work with apparently. When filming on the set of Transformers, certain crew members released a statement claiming that Megan was consistently late or didn't even show up at all. They also stated that she always complained and didn't seem the least bit interested in filming, and because of how she acted on set, Megan was actually kicked out of the multi-million-dollar franchise of the Transformers. Let's also not forget all that drama she had with the director of the movies, Michael Bay. Whoa, honestly I think that's what got her fired, but you're gonna have to look at one of our other videos for that story. Heading to number 7, we have the actor Jennifer Aniston. No! No, I refuse to believe it. No, that's sad. The actress is known for playing likable characters on the big screen, which is why I got so upset because I love her so much. But that kindness apparently doesn't hold up behind the camera. On set, instead of riding with all the other actors, she requested her own luxury SUV to escort her only wherever she wanted to go. She would also disappear into her trailer to avoid interacting with people on set. Though the complaints don't end there, Jennifer has also requested a change to a character's name because the character shared the same name as the apparent woman who ruined her marriage and wouldn't show up to set until that name was changed. I don't know about you, but that seems a little bit dramatic to me. Whether it's true or not, I like to believe that it isn't, but that's because I love her. Moving on to our number 6 spot, we have Lady Gaga. Depending on who you ask, Lady Gaga could be a pleasure to work with or very unpleasant to work with. And according to her former personal assistant, Jennifer O'Neill, Lady Gaga was awful to work with. Her former assistant complained that she had to be on call 24/7 for the pop star, sleep in the same bed, and be demanded around to do simple tasks when Lady Gaga was just too lazy to do them herself. Lady Gaga was sued by her personal assistant for unpaid overtime. When questioned about the allegations against her, Lady Gaga stated that she's actually wonderful to work with and cannot fathom that Jennifer would sue her. The two faced each other in court and eventually they settled it out between each other. It's hard to know who is actually in the wrong in this dispute, but there's one thing for sure, and that it's probably not a good idea to sleep in the same bed as your personal assistant. That's a very strange request if that's true, and I'm uncomfortable. Although I would sleep in a bed with Lady Gaga. Because I'm a crazy fan. Taking number 5, we have supermodel Naomi Campbell. Coming from personal staff and fashion designers that she's worked with, the model has been labeled as a drama queen. Campbell was notorious for arriving late to bookings, acting irrational and uncontrollable on set. She has even left the people working for her in tears for how much of a diva she is. Other people who have worked with her have mentioned that their team has lied on multiple occasions in order to protect Campbell's image. It got so bad that one of Naomi's employees filed charges against her, and even though she denied them, she was found guilty of an assault charge. She was sentenced to 5 days of not so glamorous community service, but that has not stopped her in continuing to act like the drama queen that she apparently is. The number 4 spot is given to Jennifer Lawrence. You may know her in her role in the Hunger Games, but her co-workers know her as a nuisance to work with. Lawrence presents herself as a relatable girl to the public for her risky jokes and careless behavior, creating a very likable public image. I vibe with her. But when this behavior is brought on set, instead of being likable, it seems very unprofessional. Multiple co-stars of hers have called her out for being hard to work with, as she doesn't care to remember her lines, breaks character often, pulls pranks on set, and apparently oversteps people's boundaries. Her unprofessional behavior has caused multiple people in the industry to avoid working with her again and has led to her taking this number 4 spot. Jumping to our number 3 spot, we have musician Chris Brown. Chris is not new to controversy, and that trend continues with his relationship with other people in his industry. Apparently on his appearance on Good Morning America, Chris threw a temper tantrum after being questioned about his charges, and Chris became so angry that he walked off set and hid in his dressing room. Additionally, Brown's personal employees and security have come forward to tell the public how difficult he was to work with, and mentioning that every day they wouldn't know if he would wake up on the wrong side or the right side of the bed. He does have temper, and let's not forget the Rihanna story, y'all. Anger issues. We're at the number 2 spot, and that is going to the famous actor Jared Leto. One of the main reasons other celebrities avoid working with Leto is for his off-camera behavior in the movie Suicide Squad. When the actor was cast as the Joker, he had big shoes to fill for former Joker Heath Ledger. Though Leto took the role very seriously beyond the camera, and maybe too seriously. Jared Leto crossed the line with his antics towards his co-stars when sending co-star Margot Robbie and other actors starring in the movie deceased animals and other disturbing gifts. Like, I'm not even kidding, he'd wrap them up in a box and send it to their trailers. Very weird. This was justified by him to get more in character, he said, and to better portray the Joker role, but all it accomplished was making his co-stars very uncomfortable. Like, no thanks. That's weird method acting. And finally, taking our number 1 spot, we have Shia LaBeouf. In his rise to fame, Shia seemed to be a personable celebrity that was gaining the likeness of the public. But after his claim to fame, Shia has been in multiple controversies in the media that has made the public and the people working with him turn to dislike him. Now the actor is notorious in the industry for his ignorance and very big ego. From the multiple accusations against him of plagiarism to criminal offenses, Shia has a great deal of offenses against him. Sources that have worked close to the actor have claimed that he is not easy to work with and his behavior towards his female co-stars is unacceptable. Furthermore, Shia's life behind the camera has become increasingly dangerous to the people around him. The actor cannot seem to stay away from the headlines, with multiple lawsuits against him from his ex-girlfriend FKA Twig, being charged with trespassing, charged with harassment, and being escorted off set for his disruptive behavior. Starting off this countdown, we have Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. This celebrity couple met on set of That 70s Show. They were a couple on screen and eventually off screen as well. In fact, Mila said that her first real kiss was with Ashton Kutcher, and now they're happily married with 2 kids, Wyatt and Dimitri. But I'm sure you have heard about the controversy recently involving them and their kids. While appearing on an episode of Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, the topic somehow got onto bathing, and they revealed that they weren't too concerned on bathing their kids. Mila said, and I quote, "I wasn't that parent that bathed my newborns." Kutcher continued on saying, and I quote, "If you can see the dirt on them, clean them. Otherwise, there's no point." This caused an uproar, and people started hating on the couple for not taking care of their kids properly. I personally love the two. It's cute how they went from dating in the show to dating in real life to then getting married. And honestly, they are great people and parents from what I can see. Moving on at number 9, we have Katy Perry and Russel Brand. This relationship had toxic written all over it. So the pair first met at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2008. After 3 months of dating, Brand proposed to Katy while vacationing in India. But this relationship had a number of problems. Apparently, they would get into fights about everything, from her partying to when they were going to have children to his stand-up jokes. You get it. Not only that, but apparently Brand was often jealous of Perry's success and felt like he was living in her shadow. In Katy Perry's Part of Me documentary, it showed her curled up and crying in her dressing room on a number of occasions after having fights with Brand. Katy also called him controlling. In the end, Brand broke it off with her through a text message and said that his relationship with Katy was boring and compared it to being on a diet of white rice. That's rude. So people were open to the relationship at first, but as months passed, they were not here for it at all. They didn't like how they got married so fast and knew he didn't treat her the best. Moving on to number 8, we have Aaron Taylor Johnson and Sam Taylor Johnson. Now the reason why this couple received so much hate is because of their age difference. So the pair met on set of the film Nowhere Boy in 2008. Aaron played played the lead and Sam was the director. A year later, the two were engaged. But Aaron was 18 at the time that they met and Sam was 42. With a 24-year age gap, fans were thinking the worst about Sam and her intentions with Aaron. Years later, the couple are still going strong. In fact, just recently they both got tattoos on the left side of their chest with each other's name on it. So, suck it haters, sorry, but this pair is here to stay. In our 7th spot, we have Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Talk about a controversial relationship. This relationship had drama written all over it. So apparently the two first got together in 2012 while Kim was still in the middle of getting her divorce with Kris Humphries all figured out. Then in December of 2012, Kim revealed that she was pregnant and the two were expecting their first child together. Fast forward to now. The pair now has 4 children together and their marriage is rocky. According to the Keeping Up with the Kardashians show, the pair have been fighting for a while. From fights over Kim refusing to give Kanye a band-aid, to Kanye feeling neglected, to him not liking her Met Gala dress, saying it's far too revealing, you name it. They would fight several times a day, but the final straw apparently was a couple months ago when Kanye started acting more erratic. He accused Kim and Kris on Twitter and exposed that him and Kim were contemplating having an abortion when she was pregnant with North West. Honestly, people were concerned about the relationship and their clashing egos from the start. And rumor has it that Kim was preparing the divorce papers since 2018. Moving on, at number 6 we have Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. Another very attractive couple, but they have received a lot of hate. The pair first started talking in 2016 after Nick slid into her Twitter DMs. How romantic. But it took 2 years before the two made it official in May of 2018 after confirming that they were dating. After just 2 months of dating, yes, 2 months, Nick proposed. By December of that year, they were married. No one was expecting that. It all happened way too fast. In fact, some people believe that they aren't even a real couple. It's all just for show. They also have received hate for their age gap. Priyanka is 36 and Nick is 26. Again, love is love despite age, but whatever. Not only that, people think they married each other just to boost their brands. But what do you think about the relationship? Are you here for it or not? We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Beyonce and Jay-Z. I think people hate this pair because they think that Beyonce can do way better, especially after Jay-Z admitted to cheating on her. Like, you're with Beyonce! She's gorgeous and talented, why would you ever cheat on her? Anyways, the pair seemed to hit a rough patch in 2014 after Beyonce's sister got in a fight with Jay-Z and punched him in an elevator after the Met Ball. The footage was soon leaked and people were like, ooh, what did Jay-Z do? Later it was revealed that the fight was because of Jay-Z's affair with Rachel Roy. People were like, Beyonce doesn't deserve this. No one cheats on our queen. And that's why people don't like them together. Moving on to number 4, we have Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber. Okay, here we go, folks. Hardcore Jelena superfans were outraged when Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin got together. For them, Hailey was getting in the way of Justin and Selena getting back together. They just refused to accept that they both have moved on. Apart from the Jelena shippers, others aren't too fond on how Justin treats Hailey. In April of 2021, Justin and Hailey were caught by the paparazzi going to a cafe. When they arrived, Justin gets out of the car and then slams the door in Hailey's face. Awkward. Another time, the pair were on Instagram Live together, and he told Hailey to back off and stop touching him after she gave him a hug. So people were getting snappy saying the two are not a good pair for each other, that he needs to treat Hailey better. In our 3rd spot today, we have Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. I think most of the hate that this couple receives is from die-hard Mendes fans that are mad that he's taken because they thought that they had a shot with him. Anyways, the pair were first photographed together at the 2015 VMAs. They then met again the same year at the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas. And that's when she went into his dressing room to say hi and talk. The cuties made it official in, I believe, 2019. And they are apparently still going strong. But the pair did receive some backlash in February of 2021 when Mendes posted a picture of Camila on Instagram for Valentine's Day. In the photo, he was kissing her foot, and the comments on this photo were harsh. They were calling him disgusting and their relationship cringy. Yikes. In our 2nd spot, we have Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. Honestly, my mom and dad. They're both talented actors and they're hilarious. But unfortunately, the pair has received their fair share of hate. First off, the two are very open about their relationship. In September of 2020, the two shared a story and photo on on Instagram that had a lot of people shocked. It shows him and Belle in a car and she's bent over a bottle. Turns out she was actually peeing in this bottle, which, I mean, for a girl to do, that's hella impressive. He captioned the photo on Instagram and I quote, "The most important part of this photo isn't that my bride at Kristen Annie Bell is peeing in the car. It's that the car is 36 hours old. So much disrespect that I almost have to respect it." People were like, okay, why would they tell us this? TMI. Belle went on to explain that she doesn't F with public restrooms during a pandemic. Then we have the beer controversy. Dax was struggling with his addiction on and off. So he doesn't drink beer, but he does enjoy a good old non-alcoholic beer. Apparently, they let their daughters drink it too. I know it's non-alcoholic, but their kids are 6 and 8, and it doesn't seem like the most appropriate thing for them to be drinking. So people got mad at them for that as well. And of course, they also admitted that they don't regularly bathe their kids as well. I mean, I love them together, screw the haters. And in our #1 spot today, we have Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. They are a good looking couple, not gonna lie. But their behavior at the VMAs on September 12th was just downright cringy. It all started during Megan's interview with Entertainment Tonight. She was talking about Machine Gun Kelly and how he helped pick out her outfit. She said, he was like, "You're gonna be naked tonight." And I was like, "Whatever you say." She then continued on, calling him daddy, and then said, "Whatever daddy says." That's not all though. The interviewer asked her if the two would be collaborating in Machine Gun Kelly's future music videos. And she said, and I quote, "He's not allowed to have other hoes in his music videos. It's the queen or nothing." Alright then. Then of course the two were all over each other during the event, touching and kissing each other, you name it. Another cringy moment for the pair was when Megan posted a photo of herself on Instagram from their Airbnb the two were staying at. The caption was, "When I tell you that the table at this Airbnb saw some things." Machine Gun Kelly replied with, "I'm glad that's not our table." So we all know what they did on that table, okay? But come on, we don't need to know about it.
At number 10, Eminem. What happens when one rapper crosses another? Well, a feud begins. We've seen this type of thing before with a number of rappers like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, Kanye West and Drake and Meek Mill, and just so many others. But another toxic duo we can include here is Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, because their feud has also been pretty big. It all started back all the way in 2012 when MGK was 22 and he tweeted about Eminem's then 16-year-old daughter Haley. MGK tweeted calling Haley hot in, quote, "the most respectful way possible because M is king." Now, even though Kelly meant to be respectful, he still crossed the line with that tweet, and so a feud began. Because of this initial tweet, MGK's music got banned on the radio for a while, and as it would, it made him angry, especially with Eminem, so in 2018, MGK made a song with Tech-9 where he shaded the rapper, and then shortly after that, Eminem hit back with his own song shading his rival in return. From that point, it was just a lot of messy back and forth, talking trash about each other in interviews and in music. Really, at one point, this beef just kind of got exhausting, and people just started speculating that this feud was just fabricated because they're both signed to the same label. It's been pretty quiet between them since early 2020, so maybe this toxicity has subsided, but you can never really be too sure with these two. At number 9, Conor McGregor. Now this beef here is what got a lot of people scratching their heads because it seemed to have just come out of the blue, and it left a lot of us feeling a little confused. At the VMAs this year, while walking the red carpet, there was quite the altercation between MGK and Conor McGregor. The rapper was at the VMAs for a performance and because he was up for an award, which he later won by the way, and Conor, well, he was just there for his buddy Bieber. Anyway, they were both on the red carpet at the beginning of the evening and an altercation broke out. Based on some of the footage that was posted of the event, Conor appeared to have thrown a drink at MGK and then proceeded to try and fight him. It was really dramatic and no one knows why the altercation even happened in the first place. It was first rumored that they got into a fight because MGK refused to take a picture with McGregor, but the rapper later denied those allegations. It was such a bizarre situation that no one really has any answers for, but clearly there's some kind of bad blood there, so if anyone really knows why that is, please let me know. Now before I carry on talking about people who dislike Machine Gun Kelly, I would first like to take a quick moment to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, because your engagement really does help the channel grow and we really appreciate your support. At number 8, Gabriel Rodriguez. Now this next story I'm going to tell you about is one that I had no idea about until my roommate told me about it, so shout out to Blake for being the real MVP and saving this list. Basically, there was an altercation between the rapper and his bodyguards and an actor by the name of Gabriel Rodriguez at a bar because Rodriguez was mad at MGK for that tweet about Eminem's daughter that I told you guys about earlier. After the actor harassed the rapper at the bar, he was soon kicked out, but he caught up to MGK and his crew later on that night. Still angry, the actor and MGK got into a verbal altercation, and then the actor said that he would fight the rapper's bodyguards, which is exactly what ended up happening. The actor got pummeled, and charges were filed against the bodyguards, but this man was really determined to get into the ring, so to speak, with MGK because he said that he would drop all charges if he could fight the rapper one-on-one. Either way, this matter was taken care of through a lawsuit and with monetary compensation, but I wouldn't be surprised if that actor still wants to fight Machine Gun Kelly. At number 7, Jeff Lewis. It seems like Machine Gun Kelly isn't just loud on stage, but also at home. You would think that he would put this loud rocker persona to rest while at home in his free time, but according to his neighbors, that couldn't be further from the truth. His neighbors have said that he's known to host loud and crazy parties, disturbing much of his community, and he's also known to have joyrides with his friends on the block. Neighbors have also complained about loud motorcycles revving their engines at inappropriate times of the night, and his guests have also spilled over into neighboring properties from time to time. It's also been reported that during parties, Kelly's guests have parked in neighbors' driveways and have blocked many of the neighbors' cars as well. It really seems as though he doesn't have a sense of respect for other people's properties or quiet hours. This all caused a feud between the rapper and his neighbor TV personality Jeff Lewis, who exposed Machine Gun Kelly for his nightly shenanigans. Luckily, they were able to bury the hatchet after the rapper bought Jeff a bottle of champagne as a truce, but what I really want to know is, did the shenanigans actually stop, or did Jeff just get over it for the sake of his frenemy? At number 6, G-Eazy. Okay, now that we've talked about some non-music related beefs with Machine Gun Kelly, let's circle back to this Eminem feud because this is where a lot of the hate really stems from. When it comes to feuds like this, you always see people taking sides, and so this is how MGK made some enemies along the way since a number of other artists sided with Eminem on this matter, including rapper G-Eazy, and this made things a little messy. See, G-Eazy already had a mild amount of hate for MGK after beach photos surfaced of MGK and Halsey spending the day together. At the time, Halsey and G-Eazy were on a break, but as far as G-Eazy was concerned, that was still his girl and Kelly crossed the line. So when this Eminem versus MGK stuff started to heat up, G-Eazy obviously sided with the opposition. As we all know by now though, rappers just can't let things rest, and so MGK did a freestyle rap during an interview and shaded G-Eazy, and then G-Eazy collabed back with his own diss track for MGK. You know, this back and forth rapper drama is incredibly exhausting. Between them fighting over Halsey and picking sides in a completely different fight, things got messy, but the bottom line here is that they really don't like each other. Get away from me, Fly. Don't make me square up with you. At number 5, Halsey. But speaking of Halsey, we can't forget to include her side of the narrative here. Tying into this beef with Jeezy and MGK, Halsey was sort of stuck in the middle of this. She sort of had two people fighting over them, just adding to the overall messiness of the feud. Though I wouldn't say that she downright hates Machine Gun Kelly, there was a point where she certainly wasn't impressed by the way that he was acting. Halsey responded to all the drama that was going on at the time by calling Machine Gun Kelly, quote, pathetic. This is in response to the claims that MGK made during an interview where he said that he had, quote, smashed Halsey after allegedly dating in 2017. This all seems to be water under the bridge now since MGK and Halsey collaborated on the song Forget Me Too that was released last year, but I'm going to assume that it took a little while for things to cool off between them before coming back together to work. At number 4, Miller McCormick. Machine Gun Kelly recently made a new enemy, and that enemy is Miller McCormick, the brother of the late Mac Miller. The rapper was set to start production on a new film titled Good News, but after facing criticism from McCormick, it was looking like the film would start production untitled. The film in question was supposed to be about an up-and-coming musician who struggled with deep-rooted personal issues and is inspired by a lot of young rappers' origin stories. Now, the problem that Miller McCormick had with this film in particular was the fact that the title was the same as the last song that was released by Mac Miller posthumously. That, combined with the strange similarity to Mac's life, just didn't sit right with him, and he had to make that known. McCormick seemed to criticize MGK's movie on his Instagram, where he said, quote, "F you movie, at least change the title." This sparked a number of others also calling for changes to the film, and this later reached producers who vowed to change the film's title. Now, we don't know if all of this similarity to Mac Miller was intentional or not, but either way, MGK got in some hot water and probably lost some respect from McCormick. At number 3, Corey Taylor. Recently, Machine Gun Kelly went through sort of a metamorphosis of music, so to speak, reinventing his sound. The rapper recently released an album that was more punk rock alternative sounding, and a lot of people had opinions on it, as they do. One person who really had nothing nice to say about MGK's new sound was Slipknot frontman Corey Taylor, as he shared his thoughts on artists in the rock genre in a recent interview. Essentially, Corey said that artists these days are ripping off their sound from other more original artists, and he also took a jab at MGK when he said, quote, "I hate the artists who failed in one genre and decided to go rock. I think he knows who he is, but that's another story. I'm the worst. I hate everything, and people are used to that with me though." That seemed like quite a loaded comment at MGK, and there was a lot of fury behind it as well. Either way, this new sound that MGK is working with really seems to be paying off for him, since he recently won a VMA for Best Alternative Video for his song My Ex's Best Friend, which is actually a banger if you haven't checked that one out already. At number 2, Summer Rae. Even though Machine Gun Kelly is thriving with his girlfriend Megan Fox, apparently there's some alleged drama surrounding their relationship and his former relationship with Instagram model Summer Rae. This influencer recently alleged that MGK cheated on her with Megan while he was away filming for the movie Midnight in the Switchgrass. That film set is where Megan and MGK first met. Summer, going into more detail, said, quote, "I don't really feel bad saying that because he did kind of cheat on me with Megan Fox if you look at the timeline." Summer also alleged that she had confronted Kelly about why she was told that she wasn't allowed to be on the set for one of his music videos. MGK said that it was because of COVID, but she later found out that it was because Megan was playing the rapper's love interest in the video. Overall, Summer was just left feeling a little betrayed at the end of it all, so I don't really blame her for having some kind of negative energy towards Machine Gun Kelly. And finally, at number 1, Brian Austin Green. Now, the one person who I feel would really hate Machine Gun Kelly the most is Megan Fox's ex-husband, Brian Austin Green. Although he tried to make people think that things are all fine and dandy with him, and that most of his hostility is more so directed to Megan, I feel like deep down there's still some hatred there for Kelly, since he's the one that Megan fell in love with first after him. Ever since Megan and Machine Gun Kelly went public with their relationship, Brian has spoken out about the relationship a few times, but a lot of people feel as though he's hiding his true feelings. In one interview, when asked about how he found out about the relationship, he gave very few details and simply said, quote, "I found out in my own way, and that's as much detail as I'll give you on that one." Something just isn't right there, but I feel as though in time his true feelings will come out, and I feel like it might be a little messy too. Maybe a diss track will also come out of it.